Yesterday, I made one of my least favorite things to make, like ever. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love using body butters, but the making is such a time suck that I can kind of do without. And they're almost gone. And so today, I'm going to make one of my most favorite things ever that is still, moisturizing and awesome. But before I get into what that is, hello, I'm Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are here for another round of 365 days of soap. And for those of you that may be new to the channel, and we do get newbies every day, which is actually really exciting. So welcome to the Sudser family. This channel is really focused on doing a lot of things as far as like the chemistry and the science and everything behind the soapy journey, but also testing out rules that we should never break, or trying different ways to incorporate different additives and stuff like that. We really do like to push the limits and show you what happens when you heat up your milks for a cold process batch, for example, instead of freezing them. Something we've done, and we didn't explode. I'm still here. Anyway, today on the channel, we are actually making one of my most favorite moisturizing products, and these are lotion candles. Now, I love a good lotion candle because it's sort of a dual whammy, and I love multi-use products. So with this particular, recipe, you have a candle that will scent a room, which is cool, but also as it melts, because it's made with strictly heat-safe oils and butters that also have a low melting point, you can just tip it into your hand and use it as a moisturizer or a massage oil, and it's absolutely delightful. And we are going to show you how we make them right now. So yesterday we made whipped body butter, which is a great product, but kind of a pain in the butt to make. And today we're going to make one of my favorite moisturizing products, which is a lotion candle. Now, with a lotion candle, it's going to start out with a skin-safe soy wax. Now, soy is a little bit soft. It's going to be a lot softer than other waxes that you might use in your skincare products, like an e-wax or a stearic acid or something like that. And so you do have to keep that in mind when formulating your recipe. You do want it to actually, harden up and not be soft to the touch before you start burning it. And adding to the soy wax, we will put in the cocoa butter. You can use deodorized or not deodorized cocoa butter. This particular one is not deodorized, so it's going to have a nice chocolate kick to the overall scent, which is good. I love that. And it also masks the kind of nutty aroma of the shea, which you have going on right there. Now, my shea is unrefined, and for that reason, it definitely smells like shea. And I really like the smell of shea personally, but you have to pay attention to, you have to be careful with what you're using unrefined shea in. If you're using a very light note, like a floral or like a citrus, you need to probably use a refined shea that has less of the smell, and to that probably a deodorized cocoa butter if you're really wanting those really light notes to come through. Now, for the scent blend that we're using for this, it is like a beach vacation type smell, right? And so you have your mandarin and your melon blends and some like lilies of the valley in there, and the chocolate in the cocoa butter, as well as the sort of nutty aroma from the shea, is going to turn it into just a really, relaxing, I am on a beach having fun blend. So I definitely use the chocolate and the nutty smell to my advantage in this. Now, in addition to the shea that's been put in, we are using a candelilla wax. You can use a beeswax as well. Candelilla wax is less firm than a beeswax. So again, keep that in mind. This is a product that you want to, solidify into, a solid candle, obviously, but you really do want it to melt easily as well. So you need to keep that in mind when formulating your recipes and selecting the types of oils and butters that you are going to use, and waxes to that. Now, while that is melting down in the microwave, we are going to prepare the candle tins. Now, these are super cute little tins. They are each 4-ounce tins, and they are, awesome. And this is actually kind of a cool little thing that we have going on to wick the tins. Now, you can use a little glue dots, but I prefer not to, since it's going to be in a skin product. And so what you can also do is use, the end of a pin, like the one there in the middle on the left, or you can stabilize the wick with, a couple popsicle sticks to keep it in place during the pour. Otherwise, you can use the glue tabs, but I prefer not to, since you're going to be putting this on your skin and I don't want the glue seeping. Okay, now that all of the oils or the butters and the waxes have been melted down, we're going to add the liquid oils to this. Now, for this recipe, we are using apricot oil. I love apricot. It is a very lightweight oil. It's not super greasy, which is good. And those are also things you need to pay attention to when you are working with a lotion or a body butter or a solid lotion or a lotion candle, are the types of oils that you use for your formulations. You do not want anything that is going to be too heavy and too sticky on the skin. Now, with the shea butter, that is very heavy and sticky. So you are going to want to offset that. You still want the moisture, but you do not want the extra greasiness at the end. And so I offset the shea with the cocoa butter, as well as a very lightweight liquid oil. If you were to put in an avocado oil, you really wanted to use an avocado oil, for example, I would recommend going with something like a mango butter instead of a shea, because the mango is a drier butter and will help sort of balance out the overall moisture ratio. Now, we also put extracts in this, just because I put extracts in every single skincare product I use, because I love extracts. This particular extract is a lotus, I believe, and lotus extracts are great for skin. Lotus extract really balances the skin. It's full of antioxidants. It is a lot like a jojoba, actually, in that it mimics the skin's sebum and helps balance that out. So that's good for dry skin or oily skin alike, and helps out with clogged pores, those sorts of things. Now, these are important things to think about when you are formulating leave-on products, right? Like a lotion would be a leave-on product. Obviously, you don't want to put anything into your recipe that is going to, clog your pores. That would be terrible, or exacerbate a skin condition. So definitely pay attention to the fatty acid profiles, as well as the pore clogging capabilities of any of the oils or butters or waxes that you may put in. Now that everything has been melted down and is, liquefied, and it has been scented, it has been extracted, it is ready to go, we are going to pour these into these little containers here. And you see the pen there. So just using the little, I don't know what that thing's called, a little clippy thing, I guess it's a clippy thing, on the pen to hold the tab in place. That is awesome. I love that. See, you can just move it around right into the middle. That's perfect. That's such a smart way to make, a candle. And then you don't have to worry again about the glue sticks or pouring a little bit of your candle stuff on the bottom and putting it in and letting it set up. I mean, this is just all in one fell swoop. You can wick your candles, and that is cool. I love how we have a big old Tapco plug going on in this video too, because we're using their pins. So when I organized the I organize events on 6th Ave, and every year we do a wine walk, and it's huge and it's so much fun and it's awesome. And I always, ask Tapco to provide pens for the swag bags that we give all the wine walkers. And as a result, there are always some left over, and so I just have a big old bag of Tapco pens at the shop that we use in classes and all the jazz. But today we are using them to wick the candles, which is cool. And yeah, this particular formulation, I really enjoy the end result with this. Now, I've gotten complicated and, whatever with some of the butters, and instead of using, just one butter, I will use 3. Or, I mean, technically I'm using cocoa butter, so there's 2 in this, but cocoa butter doesn't really count. I mean, it does count obviously because it has some skin benefits to it, a lot of skin benefits to it. But primarily the reason that I'm using cocoa butter in the amount that I'm using it is to help with the solidification of this, lotion, really. And now normally when you make solid lotions or body butters, when you melt down all of your oils and butters and waxes and all that jazz, you do want to keep the mixture at heat and hold it at about 130 degrees or so for around 20 to 30 minutes to remove any sort of graininess that you're going to get from to really make sure that at heat the fatty acid profiles have been broken down and they're sort of reconstituting with the rest of the butters and waxes in the mixture. That's the point of holding it at heat. But with something like this, it's really not necessary to do it, because again, this is going to solidify and then you're going to melt it down again, right? So then you will be using the liquefied version of all of this awesome as it is, after it's done, I'm going to, scent the room and make it smell awesomeness. So yeah, so the graininess doesn't really matter because it's going to be, solidified and remelted down multiple times over the course of using the candle. Now, for the scent that we used, I did say it's like a, it's like a tropical vacation blend. It reminds me with cocoa butter, a little bit like sunscreen or sunblock, suntan lotion. That's better, suntan lotion, because you got some coconut and some chocolate kind of smells going on in there. And the usage rate on this one, we used the max usage rate of 5% for all of this, and that is going to yield a fragrant candle. It will make a small room, so like a 10 by 10 bedroom, for example, smell great. But if you're wanting a more high-powered candle, you're not going to ever be able to get that with a lotion candle, because the usage rates for a candle that you're just burning is, more than double the skin safe rates for almost anything that you can, use to scent a candle. So you're not going to get a max, overpowering, awesome, fragranted, candle out of this, but it is going to be a nice smell that will fill a small-ish room. So that's cool. Okay, now these have firmed up in a few hours, so that's great. It's a product that you can, quickly, use, which is cool. And yeah, then we're just gonna take all the wicks off or the stabilizers off, and yeah, they're ready to go. Now, the cool thing about a lotion candle, you can obviously light it and it smells great and it's whatever, and then as you form the pool of, wax or whatever, you can then tip that into your hand and use it as, an all over body moisturizer, or a massage oil. I love using it as massage oil, just kind of whatever you would like. And then when you blow the candle out, everything re-solidifies, and then you can do it again over and over until your candle is gone. And that's awesome. And we're gonna show you the melted version of this, and show you kind of how it works. But I, of course, am an absolute disaster with all things, so I am definitely going to be pouring way too much out, and I'm going to make a mess, and it's ridiculous. Like, that's enough to do my whole body, really. Like, I poured way too much out in all of this. I could have, normally when I have a lotion candle, I just sort of dip my fingers in while it's burning and, call it good and do the thing. I poured out enough for, again, to moisturize my entire body. So they're very long lasting to that, because you don't need a lot to, get your moisture on. So that's cool. And yeah, clean yourself up. What's the matter with you? And yeah, that is those are the lotion candles. That's day 98, one of my most favorite products ever. I love, moisturizing with this thing, and plus, it's a cool candle. And weirdly, you can also use it to do a hot wax on your leather interior in your cars, and that's fun too, right? Yeah, so my pouring skills, I'm a hot mess, and I made a massive mess with the oils, but wasn't that delightful? I love the lotion candles so much. They are just awesome. Like, all of the awesome to ever exist in the history of the world exists in those lotion candles, and I love having them around. I have a hard time keeping them in stock though, but right now they are in stock and you can totally pick them up at soapandclay.com. If you're interested in your own like custom batch of lotion candles, let me know. If you have a particular scent blend that you absolutely love and you want to use and you want me to make it, just send me a message and I'm happy to do the thing. If you are interested in following me on social media so you can send said message, I'm there, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And if you are interested in more soapy antics, subscribe to the channel, because we're doing this every day and that's fun. And that will do it for me today, and I really appreciate you being around for another round of 365 days of soap. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the lotion candles. You will enjoy them more once they're on your skin, I promise. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Thanks.